Guys, yesterday I talked about what would happen if the Pac 16 had happened way back a decade ago. And now that we went through what teams would be, now I have to go start with the ripple effects. First, we'll start on with the SEC. Now, UFC is a SEC football program. SEC program as a whole. Why do I believe this? Because they can be potential revenue for the SEC, and they would have their chance to finally prove themselves in front of the SEC crowd. Oh, and this never happens. Yeah. So there is no UCF national championship claim. Instead, now they can prove themselves on a yearly basis to see if they're truly SEC material or they're just like national champions just because they're in the AAC, sorry. But and now UCF can prove themselves on a yearly basis in the SEC, win the SEC East, and pretty much have a path into the playoffs. Next, TCU to the SEC West. I believe they're potentially material because over the last few seasons, except last year, they've been going on high win streaks, including when they were still a group of 5 team. They defeated Nebraska in a bowl game. And then the Big 12 was interested and picked them up. Since the Big 12 no longer exists, TCU is SEC West material. And they would be competing in a good way. I mean, if they could capitalize, I believe they'd be a potential threat. And besides, now Texas has 2 markets instead of 1. And now we go on to the last team. Oh, and did I say 2 Texas teams? 3 Texas teams. Baylor will wind up being the 16th team in the SEC. They would go to the SEC East to avoid having too cluttered SEC West with only good teams and only a few good teams in the East, while the rest would be average at best. Baylor would go to the East to avoid that problem. And I think Baylor could be that team. Yes, they went 1-11 in 2017, but they have potential. And Matt Rule guided them 2 years later to an almost playoff berth. Maybe they do better, maybe they do worse. Who knows? It pretty all come down to the wire, pretty much. So, and basically after that, this is what happens. UCF is traded for Vanderbilt. UCF goes up to the East, SEC East. Meanwhile, the Commodores go down to the AAC. Admit it, Vanderbilt is not good at football. I don't know how they got in the SEC, but if this program wants to live like they really could be, the AAC, competing the AAC in a trade for UCF could be a good move. So pretty much, this is how the divisions would play out. This is the current picture of SEC football. In this scenario, we would have Baylor to the east. Baylor to the west. Baylor would be in the east, TCU in the west, UCF in the east, and we kick out Vanderbilt. Even though Vanderbilt has a rivalry with Tennessee, that rivalry is pretty much dead. Even though they're both like play for the state, Tennessee pretty much wins almost every game. So yeah, yes, geographic issues wouldn't pretty much allow in some sort for Baylor to play in the East, but think about it again. We have A&M, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, and now TCU in the West. It would be too much for the SEC West. The other thing is for Auburn to move to the East, and their guaranteed game versus Alabama is still intact. But I'd prefer Baylor to the East, and everything else stays as is, with Vanderbilt going to the AAC, Florida now having 2 teams in the SEC, and Texas having 3 teams in the SEC. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to receive more Pac-12 football content.